Okay. For BTech essays, we have different, of course, you know that pass level. Do you remember I told you just pass or merit, and we have merit and we have distinction. Do you remember DM that we talked about? Now, uh, each actually part can have its own vocabulary phrases. For example, let's get started. For explaining, okay, we have normally when you want to explain something, this refer to or this refers to is a perfect phrase that you can use, but this is like, past level. So we have higher. I will let you know one by one. So for explaining, okay, and of course, defining, okay, just this is past level. Okay. For example, you discuss something and then you can say, I can say, um, for example, motivation refers to for example, the internal drive that encourages maybe employees to achieve goals. So this is the first one, as you can see, like refers to. We normally use it when you want to explain something, can be. And then you want to explain, define, okay, you know this. For example, this means that. Yeah. Or in other words, so all of them are good phrases that you can use. For giving examples, showing causes, okay, analyzing. So we have different categories that we're going to discuss. So here we are talking about explaining, okay? This is the first one.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to give example, the first one that is maybe the most common is for example. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
And another. Do you know any other?
No, on the other hand,
Sorry?
on the other hand, on the other hand,
No, 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 no. That's used to make contrast. Definitely no. Definitely for giving examples. In other words, no. Just I
give
say, for
example.
example,
Oh no,
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
for instance,
for example, for instance, yeah, such as, or this can be seen in,
take something as an example.
yeah. For example,
Yeah. Yeah, for example, we can paraphrase it as I usually write as take something as an example for this situation.
yeah.
The
For ex
something is an example.
Take something as an example for a situation. Yeah, it can be used.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be used,
No.
but yeah, yeah. What?
uh, I mean that the sentence that I use in the essay. I write it down is something as an example. For example, take
I know
motivation.
what you mean.
So,
Take something for it's okay. You can use it, I said. It's
oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, not
Yeah, I'm
this.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Ah, not this sentence. I mean, you
Oh,
can, yeah, you can write something as an example, okay? So yes, but you mean like for example, I don't know, something like take one real situation, okay? So it's okay. Of course you can. So why not? Yes. Yeah. Well, and oh God, take something. Ah, you, you thought I mean, right? Take something in an example?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely no. No, but you can. Yes, you can. But actually, you need a phrase. If you want to use something an example, you need some phrases to introduce your example. The point is here. Now I want to add an example to introduce an example. So I need a phrase to say that, okay, I have an example here. For example, is the most common. And for example, you can say, this trend can be seen in Apple's marketing strategy. This can be seen in something. And then you can explain. For example, you can say, this can be seen in Apple's marketing strategy where product launch, I don't know, product launches create global attention like this, something like this. So you add this first, the first phrase, then add your example. And of course, for example, is the easiest one. Of course, we have more advanced. Now I'm talking about just, passing level. For example, when you want to explain something like in advanced form, okay? So like advanced vocabulary, you want to explain, okay? Fundamentally, this highlight so advanced. So, for explanation, you can use this. So we have fundamentally, this can be anything. Highlights, how to use it. Okay. For example, fundamentally, this highlights the importance of aligning business goals with employee well-being. So this way you can use it. Fundamentally, this highlights, and then you explain. Highlight what? The importance of, I don't know, aligning business goals with something. And this one. It's widely recognized that. It's what just that. Now I'm using short form contraction, but you are not, just it is. Because your language is formal, so it is widely recognized that, for example, it is widely recognized that effective leadership directly influences performance, like this. It's widely, for example, if you want to explain something, it's widely recognized that something. Yeah. And
Yeah,
another one, it can be defined as, there are more add-ins. It can be defined as, for example, social responsibility can be defined as business commitment to, I don't know, to something like, I don't know, to operating in an ethical way, like this. So something can be defined as, then you want to explain. It can be defined as, then you explain. Define as what? And then when you want to, do you want me to write the meaning or examples or no? Just let me know because just I'm saying, but if you need me to write them, of course I will, you don't need to make notes because I will make a list and then I will send you the PDF so you can have them. Yeah.
yeah. I've no,
Of course,
you
I know.
you
Of
should
course, no problem
yeah,
because
yeah, you should.
yeah, no problem. It's great. That's
No,
really good that you are making some
yeah,
notes. But because it takes time, if I want to write everything on the board, so I can't explain everything completely. So I will do something. Now I explain, just listen and learn. Then I will make a PDF and then you can have it. Yeah, better idea.
yeah. Yeah, it sounds really great. So,
Of
because I'm
course.
really scared to miss out. I'm really
It-
scared to miss out.
It's
So
okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have another. Do you remember this? We talked about distinction level. That was like, a high level. Okay. Now you want to analyze something critically. Okay. You want to say that, for example, this demonstrate the extent to which just you say, oh, it's so easy how to make it. Just you need to memorize this phrase because this is a whole. You don't change it. For example, I say, uh, This demonstrate the extent to which innovation can determine a company's competitive advantage. Why I use actually this is used for analyzing critically. For what? Distinction level. For high level. Of course, for basic, we have a lot of basic words and phrases. So not you don't need. Or nevertheless. Nevertheless, it must be acknowledged that I'm analyzing something. Nevertheless, it must be acknowledged that relying solely on digital marketing may, I don't know, may cause less tech-savvy customers, or may, I don't know, may end up, for example, less tech-savvy customers like this. So it's like it must be acknowledged. So analyzing critically and all the phrases when you want to evaluate something, by contrast, compare and now I want to, for example, compare by contrast. I want to evaluate. The evidence suggests that. The evidence suggests that is another phrase that we normally and a lot of. So we have nothing to do with these phrases because I will send you all these phrases. Okay, so you can have them. And just it takes time because I need to type some examples and make it there a lot. Just not all them, but maybe the most important them of them. And for example, for conclusion, therefore, it can be concluded that give your conclusion. And this one is taken together. In conclusion, taken together. Taken together, the evidence indicates that leadership styles and organizational culture are deeply interconnected. So in conclusion, the evidence show that, so you can use it this, taken together, the evidence, okay, indicates that this is your conclusion. And this is the perfect beginning. And ultimately is good. Finally, ultimately, for example, the implications are that, so you can use them. I will give you the meaning of them. Okay. I want to give you some tips. Okay. So how to,
Okay.
as I told you, for
Mm.
distinction level, as I told you before, first define and explain, then give example, analyze, evaluate. So I have some steps, okay? Well, let me give you these steps here. So first one, define or explain. Then we can say, give examples, and don't forget to analyze. Analyze your examples. It's really important. There is my, okay. Analyze and evaluate. Last one, evaluate. Okay, are you ready to practice something together?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, because you need to uh, always layer your sentences. What is this? Now, I want to give you an example of a layered distinction response. Uh, let's see. Let's talk about corporate social responsibility. Okay. First, define. So, what is the topic? Corporate social responsibility, right?
Yeah.
First, define how to say this can be defined, okay, here as I want to use this phrase, okay? So I
Yeah.
say, yes, I
It
say,
can be defined.
yes, definitely.
Yes.
Can be defined as what? What is this? When you say corporate social responsibility means business obligation to contribute positively to society, right? This is the paraphrase, the definition of it. Of course, you don't know it. Okay. So now you're
Uh,
learning. So the next time, okay, I want to give you the definition. The next, just let me say
mhm.
something, Now that is really important to know that you don't have to write if like a distinction level essay. This is what I say because if you know them, even if you combine this and that, it works. So, but no, there is no rule that definitely. So, as you wrote the previous session, so it was good, but not a distinction level. But here, so corporate social responsibility means what is the meaning of it? That is, businesses. This is the definition of it. Okay. Now I want to give example, my first line, right? So the first layer, done. I have four layers here. Okay, the first is done. The second one, the second layer is example. Okay, I need an example. Starbucks. Of course, not now, in the past. Okay, now we have problems with Starbucks, but we can. Why not? Okay, an example. For example, or we can say, and this, okay, illustrative is good. I want to give you good. This phrase, example, okay, can be found in Starbucks. Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
want to explain which invests in fair trade. Yeah. Coffee sourcing. This is like, this is my example. Layer two. Yeah. Analyze. Okay,
Uh,
when I say what does it mean? Okay, fair trade, coffee sourcing. So what does it mean? I need to analyze it. I need to talk about maybe you don't know
yeah.
what I mean. Yeah? So I just wrote
Yeah. Yeah.
something.
That's right.
Yeah, of course, and you have no idea. Okay, what is this which invests in fair trade? You know, coffee sourcing. So let's talk about this. This demonstrates, this shows uh the extent to which ethical practices can enhance brand reputation. So if you do this, nevertheless, it must be acknowledged. I just told you. Nevertheless, it must be acknowledged that such, for example, activities increased cost. We need to consider this, which may reduce short-term profitability. So what it means, okay, can you get what I'm saying or no?
Do you mean that the short in the short term the business the Starbucks can be profitability, but in the long term it can be harm to the society.
No, no, no. Actually, we have this idea these days about Starbucks because of this. Most of people, like a lot of people, don't use Starbucks anymore. But no, I don't mean. Okay. So first, let's talk about fair trade system. What is this? as you know, when I say fair trade, the system makes sure like producers, like I don't know, farmers or workers, so producers, okay, in developing countries are paid fairly. So if you're sure that your workers are paid fairly, it means your business is a fair trade. Get it? Now we are
Yeah, yeah,
talking
I
about
get.
fair trade coffee, Starbucks, of course. We are talking about fair trade. So what does it mean? Now I'm explaining. So I can say that fair prices, safe working conditions. This is the meaning of fair trade. Okay, so we have, if I want to use like, give you a good phrase, I say it focuses on fair prices and safe working conditions. Okay? Respect and consider, address their issues, consider the right. Okay? So that is the meaning of. Now we're talking about Starbucks. Starbucks invest in, we're giving a good example. When we say obligation to contribute positively to society, it means do something good for society, right? Right? Okay. Now, Starbucks
Yeah, yeah.
used to do this. Okay. Okay. So, which invests in fair trade coffee sourcing. This demonstrate shows what, okay, of course, it costs a lot. Yeah. So I can say that such initiatives increase costs because you need to pay a lot. This is fair pay, right? And in short term, of course, it reduces your profit, right? But in long term, it gained fame, good fame, reputation, brand image, your name. So everyone knows, everyone remember this name. Not only because of your product, but also because what you do for society, right? Can you give me
Right,
another
right.
example of fair trade? For example, now we have a really important, like, a trend these days. It's about cosmetic and makeup brands. Do you know what it is? Can you give me an example?
Cosmetic and makeup.
Yes.
I don't know much, but I know one is maybe what is that? The name of the lipsticks.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
Like, we have animal testing. Have you heard about it, right?
no, I haven't. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I
No, why? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
sorry. I'm sorry.
okay. So I
No,
will explain it.
because I
Yeah, of
yeah.
course, in labs, like most of, in the past, I can say most of brands, not now. So some brands, of course, when producing and manufacturing makeup products or cosmetic, yeah, they test on animals. Of course, this test can be really harmful and of course painful. Yeah, for animal, like for example, rabbits or for example, rats or like this, okay? But people don't want this anymore. So it's like, of course, there used to be, a lot of campaigns against. So why you are testing on animals? Now we have actually, all the brands that they don't. When you buy something like a lipstick with animal testing, without. If it's without, people tend to buy it. So what is this? This is something good to society, right? Positively
Right.
affect
Yeah.
influence. So this is actually, I'm trying to explain, okay, what I mean. But fair trade, as I told you, it's fair. Everything should, especially when it comes to workers. Now, I forgot what I said about what my sentence. Okay, this demonstrate. Okay, to what extent? So I can say the extent to, for example, which ethical uh, practices can enhance, can improve brand reputation. I'm explaining what I mean. Okay. And then I can add this. Nevertheless, it must be, okay, acknowledged that such initiatives, okay, increases cost, uh, which may reduce short-term profitability. Yeah.
Yeah.
The conclusion.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is ethical mean?
Sorry.
What is ethical mean?
Ethical.
Yeah,
Something.
ethical.
Okay.
What?
The meaning of ethical. Okay, we have ethical and unethical. So on is negative, ethical is positive. And what is the meaning of it? It's like moral principle, something that follows moral behavior or moral principle or what is right. I mean, so morally, something is right. So we say it's ethical. If I want to give you a good example, principled is a good example. Ethical principle. Doing what's right. What is right? This is moral. Ethical. So moral or ethical. Now, when something is unethical, not. For example, I don't know, ethical business, I can say that an ethical business treats its employees fairly, pays them on time. This is ethical. But it's not ethical, it's unethical to copy someone else's work. It's not ethical. It's not a good behavior. It's got not a good, for example, like I don't know, it's not right. It's not moral. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, of course. For example, about doctors, we always say that they must follow ethical guidelines, when especially when treating
Yeah.
patients, it's really important. So we say ethical, yeah. And for BTech essays, you can use it this way. It's widely recognized that businesses must adopt ethical practices. Every business must, so you can have this, just have this always, you can use it always. In business, every business must adopt ethical practices. So they need to consider employees' rights. That is, for example, fair trade is an example, such as fair trade. So this is an example. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Why and why businesses should do this? You answer me. Why?
Because it follows ethical practice. It will represent the reputation of a business,
What
and
you
in the
gain?
long term, it will be yeah,
Yeah, what you gain? It's built
uh, it can short term be uh, um, enhance the profitability, but in the long term, it can be like grow as a sustainable business with
very good.
a good profitable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sustainability. That's it. Yes. And trust. Customer trust.
Mm.
Yes. Customer trust. That is really important. As you said, yes. Another factor that is sustainability. Yes. Well, so here, as you can see, okay, That's it. We analyzed, example, analyze, and now the third step done. Fourth. Okay, let's conclude it. Let's see. We're running out of time. Let's log out and back in, then I will write the conclusion for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.